Hey guys, it's Saru, and with Swords of Legends Online releasing its Beta 1 this Friday at 8 AM Eastern, there's a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. Now before I begin, this video is sponsored by Plus9, a brand new publisher and platform that's entirely focused on bringing East Asian games to the West. Created by the fantastic people at Westgate Games that brings experience from Riot Games, NCSoft, NMAS Entertainment, Krafton, and much more. The team is focused on making an entire community with bringing cool games like this one right here called Nightmare Incubo, about a little boy trapped in a nightmare filled with memory fragments and confusion. Mixing side-scrolling with horror, you get to find out the truth in this complex puzzle game developed by Kyaland Arts. I hope I didn't butcher that name. So if you're interested, you can find out more in the description below. So as you heard correctly, yes, the beta for Swords of Legends Online will be starting this Friday at 2 PM CEST or 8 AM EST or EDT. What are we on? What's daylight savings? Or for you Pacific fellas, 5 AM. And will end on the 25th of May in the morning. Now this beta is currently closed, so it's not an open beta. You can't just download it and play, and will only be accessible if you got a beta key from giveaways such as my own or other creators or websites, or from purchasing a package from the official website over at Gameforge.com or Steam. Now I am warning you, the game is chunky. It's about 80 gigabytes or 80.14 I want to say, so be prepared for that. In addition to that, according to the patch notes that Gameforge actually released earlier today, there will be two servers, one for North America and one for Europe. Europe will be called Jiangdu, whereas North America will be called Haokeng. More like, how can there only be two servers? Am I right, fellas? Alright, just me. Okay, but just in case there are any more players that are more than just anticipated, the team is actually ready to add even more additional servers. The cool thing about this is that apparently it doesn't even matter what server you're in, because you'll still be a part of the whole world with other players from different servers. I find that pretty damn cool because you don't really see that in games. So from what I'm understanding, it's kind of like you have the server of Haokeng, for example, and you have sub-servers, but ultimately they're all put in the same place. Now players will find that it's pretty much like the exact same as the alpha, so if you saw us play the alpha, or you yourself actually play the alpha somehow, you'll notice pretty much the same client. A lot of what's changing for launch is like the guild, or rather alliance, that's what they're called in the game, the menus for that, story quests, minigame maps, LFG section, fishing books, and much more. So there's a lot of changes that are coming into the game, and if you're looking for voiceovers, they're not going to be available in beta 1, but you should see some partial voiceover work on beta 2, which is in June. Now if you haven't seen any video before and you're actually looking into this right now, the way that classes work in this game is a little bit different. You can be two masteries in one class. So if you think of one class with two subclasses, if that makes more sense to you. So you have the Spearmaster, which can be the general or the phalanx, one being a pure tank and one being a pure DPS. Now you can switch to one or the other, and both can be fully maxed out with no issues. So that doesn't mean you're going to be missing out on any masteries or anything like that, or skills or skill points if you only want to be just a tank or you want to be only a DPS. Both will progress with you together, so it doesn't really matter. All of your gear actually supports both specs. As long as you're not in combat, you can switch your mastery at any point just by pressing a button, which you should be able to do by level 13 or 14. You also have the Slayer, which you can be a Slayer or a Drunken Master, again one being a full DPS and one being a full tank. A Spell Sword, which if you saw my alpha footage, is actually what I was. You could be a Sword Artist or a Blade Storm. The only difference with this class is that both are full DPS. Sword Artist is a ranged subclass, whereas Blade Storm is more melee. Then you have Bard with Dissonance and Harmony, one being DPS and one being healer. Summoner with Nature's Wrath and Nua's Blessing, again, one being DPS and one healer. And lastly, Reaper with Assassin and Occultist, of course, with DPS and healer. So you have quite a selection to choose from, and even more so coming later this year. There is no gender lock, so you can be both male and female on either of these classes, and in the beta you'll have a maximum of 6 character slots. Lastly, you have your leveling. On the beta you can go to beginner level 36, from which you can actually go ahead and start doing quests that will take you to student level 1. And for the time being, that's going to be the max level. So you'll see even more higher levels in future updates. And no, there's not going to be any NDA, so if you're a streamer or content creator and you just want to stream the game or make videos on it, you can. You'll have a bunch of dungeons to do, and if by some reason you manage to get the student one by tryharding, because it's only like 4 or 5 days that this beta's up, you'll be able to start doing the normal version of dungeons as well as hard. However, for normal versions for the time being, it will only allow you to get loot once per day. and hard mode once per week. There is a lot to do in this game, and if you're interested in reading the patch notes, you can do so in the description below for English, German, and French. I didn't want to go over all of it because there is a lot, but if you guys want to read it fully, you can in the description below. I just wanted to give you kind of the date because I know some people aren't really looking, and the time. And yes, there will be beta events going on, so keep an eye on that. As for the most common question I get asked privately, I figured this is actually a good place to do it. Yes, in the beta, you can actually buy cash up coins or crimson coins, and you can buy whatever's in the store. At the end of the beta, however, or if it makes more sense, at launch, all of it's going to be refunded to your account. So if you spend, let's say 10,000 coins, at launch you'll have those 10,000 coins ready for you on your account. Plus, as a thanks for trying out the beta and actually buying the coins early, you'll get an extra amount of coins. So get ready this weekend. I know I will be ready for a brand new adventure. Are you guys excited about the game? Because I definitely am, and now even more so when hearing about this server structure. So let's talk about it in the comments below. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and click that adorable fucking bell to know when I upload a brand new video. And don't forget to come join my Discord if you want to chat and hang out. Much love, and as always, till next time, friends.